Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. I hope I can come to you live and the audio is good. Just want to know if you can hear me right now. Just type in there so I can make sure you can hear me. And also those of you who are listening from outstation, especially if outside of Malaysia, I hope you can also hear me well and good. All right, so just type in one if you can hear me well. I just want to make sure I can get this because I did had some sort of a little bit of technical issue earlier on, and do let me know, and just want to make sure if the sound is coming in okay, that way we can proceed from where we have. Okay, do let me know, I'll appreciate that. And before we start, okay, so far I have not got any responses from you all, so I'm not too sure if the video is fine. Just text in into the all right. Oh, so okay, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Hong Lee. So let's proceed. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show, Trading Idea with SMARTRobie, and I'm here with you for another episode, definitely on the 25th of June for another SMARTRobie. And let's get on to what we have for you this morning. That's right. Now, this morning, definitely in our breakfast show, we are on Friday, so you can see the purple color in here. And definitely not to forget a little bit here, we got more and more of you submitting your best stock trade idea from SMARTRobie on the real trade, and we are very happy, and we are coming to have a new winner very soon. This is for the July campaign in here. iPad giveaway will be given to any of you who have submitted the best stock trade. So make sure you catch that right now. All right, then today is Friday. Definitely is the advanced level in here. So the we have the premium alert, the chart setup, and also volume spread analysis, which the usual one that we see. So definitely that is going to be great. So all right, that's great. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic that we have for our news roundup headline. Definitely what's in place is still the rubber glove. Now, our KLCI, many of you know, let me just show you the chart here, switching to a wider chart. Last week and the continuing week, we almost have 20 consecutive down days of a rubber glove. Like, let's say, yeah, let's put in top glove, which is TOP, right? And you can see why top glove continue to hit lower and lower for that one. You can see, let's put on the stock chart here. And this is what you see. That's right. So the reason is very interesting. I do think one of the reasons why the chart is coming down is because of forced selling. I think there are some institutional investors who have to go through some forced selling, and we're seeing volume are coming up in here. The fundamental continue to be very positive, as you can see here. Demand for glove to outstrip supply. So COVID-19 is here to stay, as I said before, because of the Delta variant and also the Delta Plus variant. It's not going to be going off even in 2022. So the demand will still be good. I think at one point of time, we will have the COVID-19 demand back in here. I think this is very good, and I always say before, learn to buy on good news. Of course, just wait for the green pentagon in here, and there is possibility of the rubber glove coming back, but we need to see the stage 1 accumulation first, but we have not seen that yet. So you can see from here onwards, this top glove share that you see on this left hand side of the screen in here continue to down, and that is also taking a weight on our KLCI. Switching back to KLCI, the market here. So you can see the KLCI market continued to go down, and we did test the 1560, but this morning the market did rebound back, and let me just check from here onwards. It's bound back 6 points up and now trading 1561, the last current one here. MAAG, Server Dynamic continue to be the hawk, the headline, which we'll talk about it nextly. MPI is doing well. Hatta is back today after again falling almost 18. I've never seen anything like that before, you know, falling for 18 days, yet demand is so high. If you even look at Singapore, which is the AP4, okay, I can show you here, and you can look to SGX, which is the Riverstone. So go on to Riverstone here. So that's how convenient it is right now. Put Riverstone EP4 and you will see the stock chart and stock comment. Okay, this is the Singapore side of things, and you can see it's not as bad as the Malaysian one. You see it actually hit recent 3 months high at 150 before making the descent in here, all right, which is around, it is still not going down as much. And this is a Riverstone. Of course, this company is one of those companies I have invested in there, and they are based off in Rawang, another big rubber glove maker in Malaysia, but listed on the XGX. So that's really one of the big benefit of having SMARTRobie in here, where you have 3 cross market in here. So let's look at the other stocks on that in our discussion, in our next topic, right? It's no other than Sabre Dynamic. Now, Sabre Dynamic continue to hog the headline, as you can see in the news headline from COH that KPMG quit as Sabre Dynamics auditor. Now it's up to SC to uncover the truth. Now, overall, this kind of news are really bad for market sentiment, where, just because a certain individual in the high ranking of the management who refused to budge in and basically shooting down the messenger, and, KPMG, like it or not, are just one humble servant, of course, depending where you look it from. Right now, SC has to step in, and this is going to turn ugly eventually, all things going forward in here. But let's take a look at where Sabre Dynamics stock price is continued to fall. And let me switch out from SGX to go to KLCI and go to SMARTRobie. All right, let's look at the chart this morning and where Sabre Dynamics is. News like this, it's always bad for business, okay? So Sabre Dynamics is down another 3.7 cents. It is yet to go down some more, right? You can see here, and that's where we are, breaking down of, I've been talking about this in the last few episodes in the breakfast show, but I'll to continue to cover, because this is a very interesting case as it develops. As more of this bad news, this market, this chart that you see on top of me, will continue to go down to one point. I think it might hit just maybe around the 30 cents or even 20 cents. As more of this news continue to unfold, the saga that we've seen here. All right, let's move on to our next news. Next news is on Gambunda. The property and construction posted a third quarter earnings, which almost jumped, all right, to threefolds, 141 million by strong in construction comparison to last year, which is only 40 million in here. And let's take a look at Gambunda. Okay, so you can see from Gambunda stocks here, and hitting the stock comment and stock chart here. Definitely what is shown here. Let's switch to a wider chart. Gambunda has also aligned with the overall market, has broken down from 360, broke through the ATR stop loss around 330 in here. Is actually below the ATR stop, but it does have the green pentagon, and construction is not highly positive with the going forward of the political situation that we have in Malaysia. If the parliament were to convene, we are not too sure going forward. No doubt, I have said before, usually before general election, market tend to be very, very positive, but right now I don't think that is the case with the COVID, and it remain to be a challenge going forward how well this market is going to be. So the other interesting part about this eco world is the also some of the project that is involved in the MRT projects. Okay, no doubt with the current situation that we have, sentiment continue to be not so good. All right, so take note of that one. Okay, and let's go on to the next news that we have is definitely the tied up of Malakoff, okay, a power producer in here, and also SolarVest. So the arrangement with this, I think this is very, very strategic and very, very beneficial, as such that Malakoff will finance and own the rooftop. So it's like renting lah to all these industrial players like Post Malaysia, North Port and Johor Port, and SL West will be the real winner, undertaking the engineering and procurement and commissioning. But having said that, all things being equal, this stock SL West, despite having it, and again, following the main index, the KLCI, continued to trend downwards. So just sort of stay and watch downwards in here. Let me just bring up the charts. So you can see from here, trend is still continued to go down, despite we have the green Pentagon recently, then followed by another sell-off in here. We're pretty much at the low base at 1 ringgit 30 cent, as the same as the 1560 KLCI that we have. So the good arrangement is that many of these solar power arrangement will range from 20 to 25 years. So where Malakoff will continue to get some sort of recurring income, and SL West are able to dish it out as a one-time off projects, which will contribute to the overall revenue in here. And overall, I have to say, despite the market sentiment that we see very, very bearish, we still need to spend a lot of time understanding the market stages, understanding the so-called technical fundamentals as well as the technical analysis before you want to buy this. All right, don't try to average or catch a falling knife, because we haven't seen very much of the bottom. It's very close to the bottom, but maybe not yet. Now, next on the news is the EcoHlds, another property player which sees their Q2 sales nearly double. All right, let's take a look at the chart here. So EcoHlds. Now, what I've said there, time to take some profit. All right, if you look at EcoHlds, switching to a wider chart here, and it has moved up and short of the old high at 72 cents in here, but it does look like it's hitting some sort of resistance. Take some partial profit. As I said before, market sentiment continue to be very, very unfavorable in here, but the results are very, very good. The company has reached 88% of the financial year 2021 of 2.875 billion. Future revenues has substantially increased to 2.99 as of 28th of February 2021 to 3.7. Very, very good results. All right, congratulations to EcoHlds. When many of companies, especially in stock price, continue to come down, but EcoHlds continue to defy the gravity of people buying more properties, especially when the times are not so good during this COVID-19 in here. All right, another news, very positive, is for Astro. They are able to sign Netflix as their new streaming partner. So another new source of income will be coming up for Astro. So it's such that this news would already been known earlier on, and that's why we see Astro charts move up, and SMARTRobie are able to detect this kind of movement earlier on, as way back to mid-May. You can see that that's green Pentagon, and that one. So right now, of course, good news, take some partial profit. All right, so that's one of the real benefits of in here. You could see Pentagon guided Astro is likely to be 10.3% since the last Pentagon in here. And check out the Netflix on Astro, as well as the Disney Plus channel has already been in the Astro timeline. Now, next news is Bosted. So Bosted is reinventing itself, and as such that Bosted hit a new what we call major high, a very quick climatic high volume trade, and usually that is a sign of distribution. All right, so those kind of trade you got to chabot. All right, of course on green Pentagon in here you could see from here, and then that's why we have the 2-bar reversal, because markets are not good, let's put it that way. So any part where you have climatic volume, the widespread bar inside here, and reacting on this good news, smart money usually chabot. And I'm not surprised if the market is down slightly this morning. Oh, it's up 2.3% instead because of the widespread bar that we have in here. But going forward, it's very, very difficult to make money from Bosted in here. The earlier part is to get in at the green Pentagon, right? And when you have a spike in the price, that's where you want to exit. So of course, lots of good news about on this news itself, telling that they're going to be going into the technology sector, digital services sector, brick and mortar, and so forth. Okay. So usually those are the news that we get, okay? All right, now let's turn our attention to the US market. Now the US market continue to make good wave and good sound. Let's take a look, switching to SP 500 Robie chart here, and let's take a look at the SP 500. So the news yesterday has the infrastructure 60 billion being passed. Okay, so we just switch on to the Robie news or S&P 500. So you can see right now is very positive. S&P 500 make a dash to fresh record as Biden seal the infrastructure deal. You can see from then in here, leaps to all-time high. All right, now let's switch to the chart in here. And I believe eventually we're still on the red Pentagon, okay? And I think by tonight, when the chart is updated, okay, around 4 o'clock, we will be able to see a green Pentagon coming in here. So take note of that one. So while the KLCI is really struggling at the 1560 level in here. Yesterday it broke through, but it came back. So we think this could be the triple support for the KLCI, but US market is moving higher. It's real good contrast to see that. So ability to diversify out and using SMARTRobie will give you that edge. All right. So the interesting stock we'll be talking about today is Nike, another luxury owner, on the news that it jumps, that why stock is jumping is because beating earnings. Okay. So when Nike moves, the Malaysian stock Magnitech will tend to follow very soon because it's also one of the supplier for Nike. So keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at Nike, NKE. Okay, and switching it to stock comment and stock chart for NKE. So you can see right now Nike is coming out from a low base despite the S&P 500 hit new high. So this will translate eventually Nike will play catch up because of this earnings in here, possibility of taking out the recent high of 138 US dollar in there. So something food for thought. Remember, they were expecting Nike to do not that well. That's what it actually hit the yellow trend zone in here and touching the $128 before moving back up in here. So good story for Nike, a luxury sector on the move, and it should do much better going forward in here. All right, and also an update on the Pentagon Guider. Okay, Pentagon Guider portfolio in here. Last year was a good year, 2020. We performed and made about 106% on the 35,000. Right now on the 31,000 this year, market is not as good as last year. We are still up to 70%, but this will will be less because we did cut loss on one or two of those trades with a win rate of 67%, still beating the KLCI minus 3% in there, right? So we are always following the market but outperforming it, and that's what we are. Okay, so of course the leaderboard for our advanced trade idea, which updated every 30 minutes, tend to be very short bursts, and we have this our past leaderboard you can see in here, and definitely last week, okay, on the 18th of June, we have two stocks. Let's take a look at them. Okay, and the first one will be, the noise. Okay, so the noise after the 18th of June, yes, it did hit a new high. So you can see from here. Let's switch to hourly chart, right? And this was the 18th of June. 10 o'clock hit here, okay, and then subsequently, all right, distribute at the top because of the climatic volume. And also we have this, so you need to be very careful when we see climatic volume, right? This is the part that the market will probably come back down, and if you need to cut, you have to cut, all right, for that part. So the next stocks we have is JHM. So JHM on the 18th of June, okay, 9 here, so about 10 o'clock, and see how much did it go up. So JHM, it did hit a possibility of a 10%. Yes, so a very good one, possibility of a 10%, probably white ball in here before it retreated. So when you trade those intraday trades like this one here, it's a very short burst of movement, right? In a few days, you'll be out, aim for a very small percentage return. That way you're able to exit faster, keeping it a short stop loss like we did here on JHM. Of course, in the overall chart, if we switch to a daily chart, it will continue to move higher in here. It has three down bar followed by up bar. But again, the technology sector, as I shared with you before, in SP500 continue to make new high. This will eventually come. So it all depends on the strategy you are taking, whether you are short term or you want to have a longer term for that sake. So right now you're able to see the connection between the S&P 500, the US market, and also our technology sector. And then you have a better view on all things being in here. All right. So let's look at what are the stocks we have for you from our premium alert. Switching back to KLCI, the Robie chart here. And the premium alert, you can see up top here, and it's only Annum, okay, because the market is not that positive. So let's Annum, okay. So Annum is this chart here. So you can see long range in here, hit the upthrust, right? Hit the upthrust. And right now we are at this price about 129. Okay, a good entry. Do take note, this is a climatic volume. May not be one of the best, like what we shared with you earlier just now on the previous one, denoise. It may start to distribute in here. All right, you may want to buy on the pullback on the hourly chart. I'll leave that up to you. Learn to use the trade setup that we teach you in our masterclass. All right. So the next one that we have is okay. Let me just switch to. That's right, Annum. And the next one that we have now, take note, the premium alert is updated every 30 minutes. Okay, so you can come back again, take a look at it. You probably find some other share. So next one is EcoHlds. EcoBuild. Okay, so EcoBuild again on the daily chart, long period congestion, hit up in here, tested in here, and then pull back. It's trying to test to move higher. So this is a good one to study again, but you have climatic volume. So a lot of climatic volume very quickly taking profit. You need to buy back on the pullback, especially right now. The market isn't very strong and conducive for this. All right, so that's the two stocks that we're looking at. Next week, definitely we'll come back and re-examine them if it is a possibility to make a 10% or even about 8%, especially market right now isn't that positive and conducive. Okay. Okay, so this is the schematic chart that we always do, and always pay attention. Those charts that we selected, just like the EcoBuild holdings, have low volume prior to the build up, the breakout in there. Okay, and this is the QR code for our sign and strength, sign of weakness. Make sure you check it out in here to know all our tutorial. And our big event for this Saturday night at 9 p.m. is we have a special guest all the way from US, Dr. Gary Dayton, a very prominent Wyckoff VSA, very senior with a 30 years veteran in here, and one of the real so-called giving you insights to Wyckoff and volume spread analysis in here. Definitely not to be missed. And this Zoom session is definitely free if you're a SMARTRobie user, and even if you're not, you can register in here through our QR code in here. We have limited seats, first come, first serve. All right, so make sure I'll see you guys at 9 p.m. here. We got a lot in store, and right after this, I'll be preparing a great presentation for you guys, all right, to learn more about from a Wyckoff's perspective. Now we turn our attention to the feedback that we usually get from all our top fans and top sharers in here. We do appreciate if you've been doing a great job. Just go over to our Google Play Store and Apple Play Store that you see in the QR code and give us a feedback, so we continue to update and upgrade our services to you. Of course, right now we'll be looking at a couple of shares that you all have, and I'm happy to look at them right now. All right. So if you have any shares, do let me know, okay? And I'll be happy to see that too. All right. Any stocks in particular? All right. So one of the stocks that I find I'm looking at is DNEX. Okay. So you can see DNEX on the daily chart has going to touch the ATR stop loss. So we are ready to exit. All right. And the other stock that we exited was Samcam. So you can see Samcam has broken below the ATR stop loss. So usually when you broke through the ATR stop loss, the next day you chabot, okay? You have to get out, okay? Then the other one is Maybach, because a lot of stocks, as I said before, giving you, okay, Maybach is holding up. You can see turn back up. So we have to allow the trade to develop itself. And how long do we wait for? 3 months. That's right. That is our fixed rules for our fixed rule trading portfolio in there. So Maybach still okay. Some things we have to cut, but we do know when there is a trend, we are able to catch it with our screener or our SMARTRobie in here. All right. So okay, we got one stock in here, Inari. Okay, let's take a look at Inari. Inari has turned red pentagon, so it's not ready to move up yet. All right, very simple. Just wait for the green pentagon. That is how simple it is, right? All right, if you don't want to, then switch over to Apple. Okay, you can see Apple is ready to go higher. All right, but I do think that Inari another time it will play catch up. Okay, it will play catch up. So that's really one of the benefits if you don't have a trading view platform in here, or you can use SMARTRobie, just switching between those two charts. But in here is what we call real-time live chart in here. Okay, okay, we have another one called Mestron, M-E-S-T-R-O. Mestron already turned red pentagon, so be careful of the ATR stop loss. Just like what we saw just now for Maybach, right? Sometimes they will do U-turn. So learn to read the chart. If you don't want to learn to read the chart, then just do what we call do nothing, right? Just make sure you allow the chart to run itself, and you just put the ATR stop loss. If we cut below, you exit, all right? Now, this is what we call fixed rule trading, but we don't do a lot of discretion trading. We don't do a lot of judgment in there. Maybe suitable for you, okay? Let's take a look at, there's another one. Okay, let's take a look at Dialog. Okay, Dialog, like it or not, a red pentagon, that tells you you need to take some partial profit. It's not going any up. Now, like it or not, the oil and gas in Malaysia has not been doing as well as what we see in US. If you look at the US side, WTI on the oil futures, the oil price is going higher. You can see that, right? Oil price going up, but our Malaysian stock, like it or not, is taking a cue from our KLCI. So that's what's going up in here. So that's why I always tell before, maybe we need to switch to the US market. Do consider that. And that's something we will talk about tomorrow night on the US SP 500. Okay. Now, if you have not ready to invest in the US, I think you should. Right. This is where I make most of my money and my wealth from the US side. Of course, a lot of them will be explained this Saturday evening. All right. So that's all that we have for this morning in here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for it. I do hope the video audio came out to be as good. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and not to be miss out our last Wednesday talk, how to build a stock dividend portfolio for 5,000 ringgit or USD 1,000. So check out those stocks I mentioned in here from our YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, and you'll be informed of all our video. And not to forget, remember to submit the best stock trade idea, so you get a chance to win an iPad in here, especially many of you who has been with us some time. And do join our Telegram group, or share it with your friends and your colleagues, so you'll be updated on all our educational material, educational tips that will help you to grow your portfolio. And I'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Thank you for coming, and I really do hope you can share this video, and do give us a comment on our Google store here, all right, on our Google My Business in here. So we will continue to update our services and upgrade our product for you, so you are able to do much better in there. Your success is partly our responsibility to guide you where the opportunity is available. So thank you for coming in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.